The man who killed a Navy veteran has been sentenced to life in prison, but the victim's family says he's not the only one with a life sentence.
Also, another hot day in the classroom. We're following up on how schools are keeping students cool.
And we're following the latest after a nursing legislation vetoed by the governor, why he has some reservations.
Plus, a baby formula shortage stretches into another week. Our Naomi Coles breaks down what parents should and shouldn't do. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
And it's another record breaker for heat across southern Wisconsin.
The good news is we just have to make it through one more day before a bit of a cool down. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is on the weather patio with the details. Gary?
You're right. We have one more day of record or near record heat, but that heat may end with a bang with the potential for some severe weather. Let's take a look at an alert day we have in the forecast for tomorrow. High heat, high humidity, near record high temperatures in the upper 80s with heat index readings in the lower to middle 90s. But then some strong to severe thunderstorms could develop mid to late afternoon with high winds, hail, and heavy rainfall in some of the stronger storms. New weather records. You can see we have set records for the last 3 days, not only for record high temperatures, but also for overnight low temperatures. You can see those low temperatures in the upper 60s to the lower 70s. That set records for the warmest low temperatures for the day. Now tomorrow, the record high temperature is 88, and you can see we're forecasting a high of 88. The low temperature tonight we're forecasting is 70, and you can see the or 68. The record warm low temperature for tomorrow morning is 63 degrees. So we almost certainly will break that. But then the potential is there for some severe weather, like I say, late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night. That'll be followed by temperatures that'll be a little bit more moderate as we head into the weekend. I'll have more on that in the forecast in just a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. It's a story we first brought you yesterday. Students and teachers, again, dealing with very warm classrooms today as temperatures broke new records in Madison. The Madison School District taking extra steps to keep students cool, from adding scheduled hydration breaks to providing fans and rotating classes to air-conditioned parts of certain schools. Today, MMSD spokesperson Tim Lamont said the district was unsure how many students may have been absent due to this heat.
You have no idea what it feels like to see your child laying in the ditch and there's nothing you can do to help him because you know he's already gone.
A judge has sentenced the man who killed a Navy veteran to life in prison today, but the victim's family says it's not the only life sentence stemming from a brutal 2020 homicide. 23-year-old Riley Berg pleaded guilty earlier this year to killing Nicholas Day while he was jogging more than 2 years ago.
Authorities say Berg shot Day and then cut his neck multiple times. They call it an extremely brutal homicide. Brady Mallory joins us with the terms of Berg's sentence and reaction from Day's family. Brady?
Well, the judge sentenced him to Wisconsin's mandatory life sentence. Now, here are the terms of that. Berg will be in prison for more than 30 years and then has the potential to be on extended supervision for the rest of his life. He'll be eligible for parole in 2053 when he's 55 years old, but the judge says that doesn't mean he'll automatically get released. Berg pleaded guilty in February after 2 years of hearings to decide if he was competent to stand trial. Eventually, a judge said he was. Today, family told Berg how his decision affected them. A detective read a statement on behalf of Day's sister, who says Day will never get to see his daughter grow up.
No father-daughter dances, no kindergarten photos of him and his daughter, no first for anything major because Mr. Berg decided his life wasn't important. I was diagnosed.
Well, the judge asked a question many have been asking. Why did this happen? We never got that answer, and she says only Berg knows why he did what he did. Tonight at 6, we'll hear from Day's mother, who had some pretty harsh words for the man who killed her son.
We'll see you at 6, Brady. Thank you. We're learning new details after a vehicle caught fire at a BP gas station near Cottage Grove this morning. Take a look at this. An SUV almost fully engulfed in flames near a gas pump. Investigators say a malfunctioning coolant system caused part of the engine to burst into flames. No injuries were reported, but the fire damaged the gas station and a nearby car.
Dane County Sheriff's officials are investigating after 2 dead dogs were found inside garbage bags near the Ice Age Trail. The pit bulls were found near Raymond Road at Oakview Drive in Verona about 11:30 today. Neither dog was tagged or chipped for identification. Deputies say it's unclear if a crime was committed leading to the deaths of those dogs, but ask anyone with information to call its tip line, the number 608-284 6,900. It is National Nurses Week, and nurses across the country marched to increase awareness on a range of issues.
While hundreds marched in Washington, D.C., a group here in Madison made their way to the Capitol. Participants are calling for fair wages without salary caps, an end to violence and discrimination against health workers, and a safe nurse-to-patient ratio in staffing. Nurses are asking the state to make it easier for them to do their jobs, but Governor Evers had reservations about it, vetoing a bill that would have eliminated some barriers for advanced practice nurses.
And advocates were back at the Capitol today making their push. Political reporter Will Keneally was there and explains what they're calling for here. Will.
That's right. So the barriers for these nurses, they need a relationship with collaborating physicians to do things like prescribe medicine. This restriction was eased during the pandemic, and advocates want that to become permanent.
Why am I now needing a collaborating physician again when I was good enough during the COVID pandemic?
That's the question advanced practice nurses are asking the governor, who vetoed a bill last month that would have made it easier for them to practice. The requirement for advanced practice nurses to have a collaborating doctor could be life or death for some.
I can be a day away from closing my practice if I were to lose my collaborating physician. Not only would this affect my patients, but it affects my livelihood and all the livelihood of my employees.
With the healthcare system shifting out of a pandemic crisis standard of care, advocates want that to become permanent.
Rural Wisconsinites will lose the access if I cannot find a willing and financially affordable collaborative physician.
While the governor will pay lip service to these very professionals behind me and the other 90,000 around the state that he values the work that they do, well, his actions don't match his rhetoric, because when he vetoed this bill, it was essentially a slap in the face to all the nurses that have provided great care in this state.
In his veto message, Evers said not all of the concerns of the medical community were addressed. Groups like the Wisconsin Medical Society opposed the measure over concerns that it would eliminate doctors from the equation of patient care.
But rest assured, even though this is a minor setback that the bill was vetoed, this bill is not going away. It will come back in some form or fashion next session, and I am hopeful that there will be an administration that will sign this bill into law.
And so, as he says, this could all change as Republicans look to unseat Evers in the fall.
Will, thank you. UW Health spotlighting the health system's inaugural nurse scientist, Elise Arsenault-Knudsen. Arsenault-Knudsen says it is a common misconception that nurses are only at the bedside of patients, and they actually have many roles. She provides the evidence-based vision and strategy for resources and infrastructure that nurses use. She says she also helps support thousands of nurses to provide the best care possible for patients.
We're hearing about how we're supposed to change our practice. We know that there's research behind this, but how can you make it more transparent to us? So through a series of processes, we develop these one-page sheets where we say, here is the research, here are the main points, key takeaways from the evidence. This is what it means for nurses at UW Health. And if you want to read more, we make sure that the references are very clearly articulated so that nurses can dive in.
In the fall of 2020, Arsenault-Knudsen conducted a literature review seeking evidence-based interventions and encourages nurses to ask questions and provide insight on what they needed. From that, a new nursing well-being council was developed.
The Biden administration says the president is working with baby formula manufacturers and retailers to try to address the nation's formula shortage. Supply chain issues and a major recall have led to empty shelves and shortages. Republican leaders are putting the blame on the Biden administration, but the White House says the president is trying to find a solution.
But it seems that while President Biden's administration and the FDA knew all about this problem as it developed, they have been asleep at the switch in terms of getting production back online as fast as possible.
It also includes ensuring that lower-income families can access different brands of baby formula by working with the WIC for the exemptions for the WIC programs.
Congress plans to address the formula shortage at a hearing later this month. Meanwhile, families are rationing or swapping formulas as a result.
We went on the hunt here at home to find some solutions in southern Wisconsin. That includes some free and also some pricey options, as Naomi Coles explains. Naomi?
The first place I checked is the pregnancy helpline on Madison's east side, where they're getting every client one free can of formula every month. They'll serve anyone who can get to their clinic once you complete a short registration form. platform online. Another option recommended by experts, milk banks. The only accredited bank serving hospitals and individuals across Illinois and Wisconsin has a dispensary here in Madison. And while it can be a pricey option, they do work with insurance, discounts, and grants to get upfront costs lowered for families in need.
Right now, we have a fantastic supply of donor milk because our donors answered the call. Earlier this year, we were experiencing a little bit of a shortage with our milk supply, but our donors are absolutely fantastic. They answered the call and they have been donating in record numbers for the last couple of months, which means that we are able to supply all the milk that's needed for all the demand that we're seeing.
Some things that doctors don't recommend. For one, making your own formula or trusting people when swapping formula online. Now, I have a list online right now of everything I just mentioned, as well as several additional resources to check out, both here at home and online. That's at channel3000.com.
Naomi, thank you. There is one formula manufacturer that is not experiencing a shortage. ByHeart in Pennsylvania. Their product launched in March and is made with clean ingredients based on the latest nutrition research. If you're looking for formula, the company does sell its products online.
We worked with the world's experts in breast milk research to get closer than ever before to breast milk.
I'll tell you, in just the first 6 days, we sold into all 50 states. That was really shocking to us.
Company leaders say they've been able to keep up with demand because they control their own supply chain and they do not outsource production. The CDC says you should speak to your pediatrician before you switch your baby's formula brand or type. And as Naomi said, the FDA warns against making homemade baby formula. They say it could lead to serious health problems for your child.
Students at Monona Grove and La Follette High Schools walked to the Monona Grove School District offices to show support for reproductive rights. The students said they believe they have rights over their own bodies and they were using the power of togetherness and coming together as a walkout to show solidarity. They say despite their inability to vote, they believe they have a right to speak and at least start a conversation about the subject.
Regardless of our ability to vote, we have the power of our just being able to speak and come together. And it really takes all of us to come together and start a conversation.
The students say it's not an issue that's going to affect only women. They say it could affect LGBTQ rights and those who don't identify as a woman as well. White House flags flying at half-staff today. It marks a once unthinkable milestone, 1 million deaths from COVID-19. The president calling for further action to stop the pandemic, providing remarks for a virtual global COVID summit, announcing the U.S. is sharing vaccine science that could help increase global production. COVID infections are ticking higher. World leaders say a well-controlled level of cases will require expanding vaccines, tests, and treatments globally. Still to come, Gary assessing the heat and also the severe weather risk in the coming days and into the weekend.
And a wildfire raging in Orange County, California. How firefighters are working around the clock to save multi-million-dollar homes from going up in flames. And later, an investigation continues into a house fire in Barron County that left a father and 2 children dead. We'll have the details coming up at 6.
A look at the markets and Thursday trading. The Dow falls another 104 points. NASDAQ adds 7. S&P loses 5. We'll be right back.
The best mattress deals in Wisconsin start now at Ashley. This Memorial Day, save $1,000 on Sealy and Serta. Save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic. Plus, get $300 in free furniture. Doorbusters up to 60% off. And special financing for 60 months. Starting right now.
How do you use your energy? Giving back to your community? Fueling your drive to deliver hope for neighbors in need? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power. We're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Sometimes life can get pretty busy in an active household. So that's why Menards makes things just a little bit easier for you. Start a door design and choose a style that's right for you and everything else you look for in a quality door. Mastercraft offers fast, free delivery on personalized doors to any Menards store. Use our door designer on Menards.com to get your door your way. Mastercraft Doors, 11% off at Menards.
I just scratch my head over these career politicians. They get in there and they just never want to leave. I'm going to give this my all for 4 years, work very hard. I'm going to do it for the greater good of all the people of Wisconsin, not the special interests. I think the lobbyists are not going to like me at all. They're going to be very frustrated. I'm not beholden to them. Didn't take any money from them, won't take any money from them. I'm going to do what's right for all the people of Wisconsin.
Tim Michaels for governor.
The savings do not get better than this. Ashley's Memorial Day sale starts now. Holiday doorbusters are up to 64% off, plus up to an additional 10% off at checkout. Furnish entire rooms for only $14 per month and special financing for 60 months, starting right now.
Tonight at 6, while multiple states are dealing with a massive baby formula shortage, Naomi Coles has a list of places to go in Madison if you're in need.
An alert day is in the forecast for tomorrow for heat and the threat for severe thunderstorms. I'll let you know if the storms will break the heat at 6.
Want an alert to come directly to your phone the next time your child's school is closed or delayed? Download the First Warn Weather app. Turn on the alerts so you're prepared when you need it.
The First Warn Weather app. Get it now. Powered by News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
The U.S. House Select Committee investigating the U.S. Capitol riots sends subpoenas to 5 GOP lawmakers, including House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Congressmen Scott Perry, Andy Biggs, Mo Brooks, and Jim Jordan were also on the list. The committee chair says they may have information relevant to the investigation, but they didn't voluntarily cooperate. McCarthy hasn't said if he'll comply and said he still considers the committee as illegitimate.
Fire crews in Southern California are battling a stubborn wildfire still burning out of control south of Los Angeles. Firefighters have been working around the clock to save an upscale neighborhood overlooking the Pacific. Kara Finstrom has the latest from Orange County.
It's devastating. It looks like a war zone.
Diane Buckles returned from a trip out of state to find many of her neighbors' homes destroyed after the coastal fire swept through her neighborhood.
I can't even believe it. I heard it was bad, but this is so devastating.
Buckles' home was spared, but many of her neighbors weren't as fortunate. Fueled by cool ocean winds, the coastal fire started Wednesday afternoon as a small brush fire. 2 hours later, it erupted into a nearly 200-acre inferno.
Our fuel moistures right now are very low, which basically means that when a fire starts, it'll get established very rapidly. Throwing some wind on that and the terrain, the steepness of it, was a bad recipe.
The flames were moving so fast. Most residents in this neighborhood had little time to evacuate and took anything they could carry.
A helicopter came and told us to get out. We didn't know what to grab: computers, photo albums, financial stuff, and it was just surreal.
Today, crews are attacking the fire from the air and on the ground.
There's still a lot of work to be done out there today. Our crews are out there still aggressively working at it.
The cause of the fire is under investigation, but the local power company, Southern California Edison, has advised state officials there was unspecified circuit activity in the area right around the time the fire started. Kara Finstrom, CBS News, Laguna Niguel, California.
And at least 900 homes there remain under evacuation orders. One firefighter was slightly injured.
Another record-breaking day around here. Will we see a break in the heat? Here's Gary Canaldi with the forecast.
We'll have to wait at least one more day before that happens. Here are the records. This is Tuesday, Wednesday, today, and tomorrow. Today, so far 93 degrees, the high temperature. That broke the old record high of 86 degrees. When you break a record by 7 degrees, when you have about 150 years of weather records like we have in Madison, that is just incredible. Overnight low temperature records also set for the warmest low temperatures. temperatures, but we set record highs the last 3 days, and tomorrow the record high is 88. I'm forecasting a high of 88. It could certainly be warmer than that. I know Chris Reese had 90 degrees in the forecast earlier. The only reason I brought it down a bit is because the thunderstorms might fire up an hour or two earlier. The timing on that is going to be critical. Once the storms develop, then the temperatures will start to drop off pretty rapidly. So as long as we can get the temperature up to 88 or 90 before that happens, we'll set another record. And overnight, the record warm low temperature is 63. We'll probably smash that, looking for a low of about 68 degrees. Do have an alert day in the forecast for tonight for the heat, and then for tomorrow, the heat and humidity, and then the potential for severe weather, mainly mid to late afternoon into the evening hours. Hail, high winds, heavy rainfall are the main threats there. High-resolution Doppler radar, southern Wisconsin, free of precipitation. The air is just so warm through the atmosphere, you can't really get thunderstorms to develop. Northern parts of the state, different story. Lots of strong thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms over parts of far northeastern Wisconsin, mainly for wind. You can see these storms, but they're moving more toward the northeast, so they're not heading in our direction. A wider radar perspective shows clusters of strong thunderstorms up in northeastern Minnesota, and then the main batch, which is starting to fire up over parts of South Dakota, ready to move into Minnesota. There are severe thunderstorm and tornado watches in effect for that area. Storm Prediction Center has a moderate risk of severe thunderstorms tonight over eastern Dakotas and western portions of Minnesota, a slight risk into northern Wisconsin, even have a marginal risk north and west of, say, the Dells, but that's just in case any of these thunderstorms make it this far south. There's just enough moisture that they could become severe, but the chances of any thunderstorm even developing is very, very low. Tomorrow, the severe weather threat moves over southern Wisconsin, a slight risk or level 2 risk, again for hail and gusty winds during the afternoon and early evening hours, and that's right as the first of 2 cold fronts comes through. The second one on Saturday could also fire up an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm, so we have a marginal or level 1 risk for Saturday. Right now, I'm thinking maybe a thunderstorm late in the afternoon or into the evening. Temperatures right now are just soaring. These are low to mid-90s. These are current temperatures. Even near Lake Michigan, temperatures mid-80s there. Green Bay at 90 degrees. North of the front, notice temperatures in the 50s and 60s in far northern Wisconsin. Dew point temperatures mid to upper 60s to near 70. You factor those two together, and this is the heat index. Feels like 99 in La Crosse and 95 here in Madison. Just almost unheard of for this time of year. Tomorrow, high of 88. Very warm and humid. Again, thunderstorms mid to late afternoon, so the timing on those will be critical for the high temperature. Future track, you can see this happening. For tonight, just an outside chance of a shower or thunderstorm, lows in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, most of the day dry, highs upper 80s, but watch what happens mid to late afternoon. Boom, there go the thunderstorms, but then they move up pretty quickly. When the storms develop, the temperatures drop off by a good 5 to 10 degrees. And then on Saturday, if we do see a shower or thunderstorm chance, it'll be late in the afternoon or into the evening. Rainfall amounts, a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch in some areas. Some areas could pick up 1 or 2 inches in a heavier thunderstorm. 7 to 10 day forecast. Temperatures start to drop off a bit over the weekend, but they're still above normal. And then for next week, the dry first part of the week dry, some shower and thunderstorm chances later in the week with near normal temperatures. As we check out first warn traffic, right now on the Beltline, this is the view at Park Street. Traffic moving pretty slowly in both directions. Stop and go traffic in the left lane on the westbound Beltline. Right now, delays from near Stoughton Road all the way back to Verona Road on the eastbound Beltline. Westbound from about Fish Hatchery Road to Park Street. Right now, almost a ½ hour on the eastbound Beltline, about 18 minutes on the westbound Beltline between University Avenue and the interstate. Heading out of Madison, no problems on I-3990 from the Beltline to Janesville. A quick 16 minutes from Middle to Sauk City on US 12. Downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151 will take you 18 minutes. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
Gary, thank you. It's almost summer road trip time. Coming up in our Consumer Watch, how to save on that next family vacation. Next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
When cleaning your air ducts, it's important to clean the entire system. And air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer removes pounds of trapped dirt, dust, and allergens from your home completely. Call today for a free inspection.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner. Trust your feet to Morgan's Shoes.
Birkenstock, a trusted name you've come to know, is back in stock. Birkenstock is footwear built for adventure, all-day play, and even an effortless wedge. A new heel with the same great feel. With nearly 250 years in the fine art of shoemaking, choosing Birkenstock means choosing the best in quality, comfort, and craftsmanship.
Comfort with style. Trust your feet to Morgan Shoes.
Morgan Shoes, Hilldale.
Dove knows we damage our hair a lot.
My hair, I curl it. I have to use a lot of heat.
New Dove Hair Therapy shampoo and conditioner with ceramide and peptide. It nourishes at a cellular level to rescue damaged hair. Discover 10 times stronger hair with new Dove Hair Therapy Rescue and Protect.
I got nothing to eat.
Nothing.
Hold on, I can do something.
Turning nothing into something.
Turning nothing into something.
It's amazing what you can do with nothing and a little Hellman's.
The best things in life are free.
Just wait until he hears about free installation from Feldco.
Free installation? Are you kidding me? Yeah!
Free installation on windows, siding, doors, and roofing. Plus no interest for 1 year. That's something to get excited about.
Free installation ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Raising healthy children takes a village, and kids thrive when their village is healthy too.
SSM Health and News 3 Now are helping you unlock a healthier world with our Time for Kids Keys to Health campaign. We'll show you how sustainable choices create healthier lifestyles, explore the impacts of food security on families,
and share ways we can help build a healthy community together. So join us on air, online, and in your village.
and take time for kids.
Violent and destructive riots in Kenosha. The Waukesha Christmas Parade tragedy. Record high homicides in Milwaukee. From defunding our police to releasing violent felons with low or no bail. Liberal Democrats have created the worst crime wave in decades. Senator Ron Johnson is standing with our brave law enforcement officers to keep Wisconsin families safe. And he wants to keep violent criminals behind bars where they belong.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
The Stanley Steamer started with one man, a van, and a whole lot of carpet. We've been innovating for a long time. Stanley Steamer now goes beyond carpet. Schedule a cleaning today.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Gas prices have hit another record high this week.
Well, just as Americans are planning their spring and summer road trips, in today's Consumer Watch, 5 tips to help you get better gas mileage and save on travel.
Spring and summer road trip costs are soaring. According to AAA, on Wednesday, the national average for regular gas hit a record high of $4.40. That's up almost $1 from a year ago.
It's not impossible that at some point this summer, if things don't turn around, we could see $5.
If the pain at the pump has you reconsidering your travel plans, here are some gas-saving tips from Gas Buddy. Number 1, consider a nearcation. Experts recommend staying closer to home to avoid long drives.
Plan those trips accordingly. Watch your state lines. Of course, some states have higher gas taxes, which will drive prices up. And some states have gas tax holidays, which could make it more appealing to fill up in.
Number 2, shop around. Avoid stations off major highways and use apps to find the cheapest gas near you. Number 3, take advantage of discounts.
We're kind of resigned to paying higher prices, but nobody should be paying what the retail price is with all of these different options to save.
Gas Buddy recommends using a rebate credit card or joining a loyalty program. Number 4, pay in cash, which is cheaper. And finally, don't forget this, don't drive as fast.
Slowing down, even if just a few miles an hour on the interstate, can increase your fuel efficiency by anywhere from 5 to 20%.
Is there relief in sight? Economists say it depends on Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
If that hadn't happened, we'd be paying, maybe $3.25, $3.50 for a gallon of gasoline.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Meredith Wood.
And auto experts want to remind folks, keep up with your car's maintenance, including tire pressure, and change air filters before any long road trips. We'll have a final check of your First Warn forecast after a short break.
You're watching Madison's fastest growing newscast, News 3 Now at 5.
The best mattress deals in Wisconsin start now at Ashley. This Memorial Day, save $1,000 on Sealy and Serta. Save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic. Plus, get $300 in free furniture. Doorbusters up to 60% off. And special financing for 60 months. Starting right now.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of industry-leading Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Take advantage of exceptional financing offers from your local Cub Cadet dealer today. To find the dealer near you, visit cubcadetdealers.com.
Impatience is a virtue. When you know what you want, waiting isn't an option.
New Balance Madison, we got now.
Like an eagle protects his head.
We all need a rock we can rely on. To be strong. To overcome anything. To be unstoppable. That's why millions rely on the strength and financial guidance of Prudential to achieve their dreams. Who's your rock?
How do you use your energy? Fueling your drive to deliver hope for neighbors in need? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
When we needed new doors and windows for our home, we were looking for someone we could trust.
We've done the bargain brand windows.
What we loved about Nextdoor and Window is that they were different.
We really loved their educational approach.
Call 844-600-NEXT. 50% off your installation.
The savings do not get better than this. Ashley's Memorial Day sale starts now. Holiday doorbusters are up to 64% off, plus up to an additional 10% off at checkout. Furnish entire rooms for only $14 per month and special financing for 60 months, starting right now.
Gary's back with a final check.
Well, you think with all this heat and humidity, we'd see thunderstorms, but they're all up in the northern part of the state. The air is just capped here, just kind of like a lid on the atmosphere. 93 right now, Madison. That breaks the record high for today by 7 degrees. Even closer to Lake Michigan, a little cooler there, but not as dramatically cool as it was yesterday. Dew point temperatures, mid-60s to around 70. Heat index readings right now, middle 90s to triple digits.
CBS Evening News is next. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6.